Hi everyone, I'm teacher Ajay. Today we'll be discussing about equations. So it's gonna be a sort of fast lesson, just a review for my students. Okay, so before anything else, we need to learn some vocabulary so that whatever mathematical words that I'm using, you will understand. So I have these four very common words I always use when I talk about equation. We have what is an equation. So an equation is a mathematical statement that has two expressions separated by an equal sign, equal sign, equal sign. Okay? And variable, if I say variable, meaning it's a symbol for a number we don't know, so that will be the problem in a mathematical expression. Usually it is represented by a letter. So it could be X or Y, that's commonly used. It could also be A or B or C or any letter. Okay, so I'll give you a quick thing to show you here. So look at that. So example for an equation is a mathematical expression which is separated by an equal sign. So this is an equal sign. Look at this. This is an equal sign. Okay? This is an equal sign. So if we have 1 plus 2 is equals 3, meaning the first on the left side, if we sum it up, it's 3. And the equal sign is also 3. So meaning this is called a true equation. This is called true equation, meaning it is correct. Okay, it's a true equation. Or 1 month is equals to 30 days. Also, it is because we knew that in 1 month there is approximately 30 days. So it could be written as well as like this. 1 month is equals to 30 days. As is equals to 30 days. So this is an example of an equation. So we have the real deal here, the real equation when we talk about algebra. So we talk about variables. So variable is what we defined earlier. Variable is a symbol of a number we don't know. Usually it's represented by X or Y. So here I have X there in red color. So that is our variable. So here the problem is we need to know what is the value of X. So our problem here is X is the question mark. Okay, so that is our actually the problem. So in algebra we always, that's a representation of an equation. Okay, so to continue with, we have here, okay, then let's just forget about it. So we have here how to isolate. What is an isolation? Isolation meaning how to make our variable to be alone. So if I talk about isolate, meaning our variable, if we have our variable X or Y or Z, meaning it has to be alone. So how to isolate? If you have an equation that is an addition, so we use subtract. We then subtract. If we have subtraction from a variable, then we add up. And if we have multiplication to the variable, then we divide. It's always the opposite. Okay, it's always the opposite. If there is a division to the variable, then we multiply by the reciprocal of the divisor. Okay, so, and before that, you have to rewrite the expression as well. Okay, so what we can do now? Okay, so we have to, so that you will understand better, I'll give you an explanation. I mean, the real problem. Here, before that, there are things that you need to remember with. So that the most important rule in solving equations are the following. Remember this. What you do to the left meaning from the equal sign of the equal sign, you do the same to the right. Meaning if this is the equal sign, left and right, if you add up 3, you also add up 3. If you minus 3, you also minus 3. If you multiply 3, you also multiply 3. If you divide 3, you also divide 3 in other side. Meaning left and right must have the same value to undo your equation. Okay? And for division, again, remember, this is just my rule. Always rewrite into a fraction. Rewrite into a fraction form so that it'll be easier for you to cancel out. Okay? Now, so today we're going to learn an equation with one unknown, meaning we only have one variable in one mathematical expression. Okay, so there's an example here. Here, solving an equation. When we solve an equation, we have to use addition and subtraction properties of equality to solve problems. Meaning, as what I stated earlier, this one, if you have addition, you subtract. If you have subtraction, you add. Okay, let's go here. So look at this. Our original equation, we have a plus 8 equals 12. So since we have addition here, the original equation, we have addition, right? So a plus, so that's addition, 8 equals 12. So to isolate our variable, because remember, our variable always wants to be alone on its side. Okay, so all you have to do is to subtract with the same amount of this added here to that variable. Remember that. You don't use the other one on the side. Whatever is the number here on this side with the variable, that's the number you're going to do or undo. Okay, so meaning we have addition, you subtract to make it 0. So we have here if you say plus 8 here, the original equation, so you subtract or negative 8. And then what you do to the left, you do to the right. You have here 12 minus 8. Okay, so now if we subtract 8 minus 8 is equals to 0. So what is left now is a, our variable. So now our variable is already isolated, it's already alone, so you're cool. And you have here 12 minus 8. So if you do the math, our answer will be a is equals to 4. Now, in equation, you can check whether your answer is correct. Okay, so write down the original equation first. Look at that. I copied from here and here. A plus 8 equals 12. Now we already have the value of a. A is equals to 4. Therefore, you just replace our a here with number 4. So we have 4 plus 8 is equals 12. And meaning, so we have here 12 is equals 12. So meaning our answer is correct. Okay, so now let's go with the next example here. We have x minus 10 is equals 80. So as what we can see here, we have subtraction. So meaning, so to isolate our variable, we do the opposite. So we have subtraction, we add up. So negative 10 plus 10 is equals 0. So then we have, what you do is plus 10 to the left-hand side. So you also add up 10 plus 10 on the other side. As in our rule says, what you do to the left, you do to the right. What you do to the right, you do to the left. Okay, so now after that, so 10 minus negative 10 plus 10 is equals to 0. It's the same as 10 minus 10, 0. So again, our variable x is isolated, meaning it's already alone. So you are cool, because that's the rule. And we have what, since we have 80 plus 10, that would be 90. So our x this time, the value of our x is 90. So to check again, go back to the original fraction. Just copy that one. X minus 10 is equals to 80. So replace x with 90. That's our value there. So 90 minus 10 is equals 80. So 80 is equals 80. Meaning our equation is, our solution is correct. And our equation is a true equation. Okay. So if you have any question, you just send me a message in our line, on our group line. Okay, so here, another example, we have subtraction. Again, now it's different from the other side. Look at this. Our example here, the variable is subtracted by a number. This time, our number is subtracted by a variable. Is that possible? Yes, of course. Why not? It's the same thing applies. So what we have here, an example, we have 20 minus p, that's our variable, is equals 5. Now, you need to take out negative p because this is negative p. Add up plus p, as simple as that, to undo this thing. Then teacher, you might be telling me, teacher, then where's our variable then? Watch, look at this. So we have, because you have to do both sides, right? So now if you have negative p, if you add up p to the left side, you also add up p to the other side. So that means your variable just basically move there and it changes its sign. So we have, before that we have negative p plus p, again it's 0. So what is left is 20. Now the problem is, you might be thinking, but teacher, our variable is the other side. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. So here we have, again, 5 plus p. That is now our new equation. Are we done? Not yet. So if you can see this, it's basically just the same as the other equations that I showed you earlier. The only thing, the variable goes to the right-hand side. Then you might ask yourself, is that possible, teacher? Yes, it's okay, it doesn't matter. So now look at this. So what we have here, we have what you're gonna do here now. So again, continue. Because remember, our variable needs to be isolated. It always wants to be alone. So what we're gonna do now, since we have 5 here, and positive 5, you subtract 5. As simple as that. So our p will be alone again. So look at that. 5 minus 5 plus p. And of course, you subtract here. Remember, what you do to the left, you do to the right. What you do to the right, you do to the left. So you did minus 5 here, so you also minus 5 on the other side. So now, 5 minus 5 is 0. What is left? P now is isolated. It's alone, so it's cool. And our answer, P is equals to 15. Now, how to check? Just check it. It's the same thing as what I've showed you earlier. Copy the original original equation. Sorry for that. Copy the original equation. 20 minus P is equals 5. So our P is 15. So just simply replace P with 15. So 20 minus 15 is equals 5. And bring down 5. So what we got, our equation is correct. Okay? So that's it for today. It's just a review on our lesson equation. Again, to check your answers, always substitute the value of the variable back to the original equation. That's it for today, everyone. Thank you for joining me. And see you next time again. Okay.